There I am. I wasn't even added to the stream. What kind of hotel is this? Hey, everybody. How are we doing? How are we doing? I see lots of awesome folks in the old side chats. Good to see you. Charlie Welch, Arisen, Jinju, Beaver Sea, Trans Girl, Mrs. Schrodinger's Cat, Alpha K91. My goodness, so many people. Your pal Al is here. So good to see everybody. If I missed you, I apologize. I'm sure I'll see you here in a minute. Hang on a second. Boom. Ziggy for the Facts says, hi, Johnny O. Hello. Good to see you. Excuse me. Facty, good to see you. Good to see you. Who else we got here? Michelle Haug, Syrian, Archangel 3, good to see all of you here. Commander Darklight, Daryl M. Script Cat, boom. So many awesome people. Somebody got kicked out. Stacy Hansen says, evening, everyone. Good evening, Stacy. Good to see you. Excuse me. My goodness. That's what happens. I don't know what. Well, I do know what it is. It's the fact that the wind started blowing, and there is, I mean, just a ridiculous amount of pollen. My blue truck is now green because of all the yellow pollen. Skits Crasher for $2 says, hello, Johnny O. Hey, Skits Crasher, good to see you. Good to see you. Mr. Shorten Cat says, I'm okay. Over the cravings. It's been 6 days. That means you should be past like the physical portion of it, but there's noises going on in the background. Colin L3 says, hello, Johnny O. Hello. Ready? Hello. Good to see you. All right. What is going on here? Christo, good to see you. I get notifications from here, there, everywhere. Everybody's beeping on me. No, don't need to work with that. Go away. Don't care. Boom. All right, done with that. All right. What was this? Wybenga can do one. He was in Pratt's comments today mocking team's viewers. Well, we'll talk about that for a little bit, right? So we'll talk about the recent I'm not going to say his name because piss on that guy. All right, I won't tell anybody, Pat. You're not here. Fish like a girl. Hello. You're at work. Where do you work? Where do you work? Where do you work? You don't have to tell me. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to. If you do something cool, then I want to hear about it. Got a little tangle going on. Leave that alone. Anyway, yeah, it is good to see so many people here. I hope everybody's having an awesome day. Hello at the plot hole. Glad I got something to watch while Schrodinger's Cat is gone. Yeah. It's good to see you. I'm glad you're doing, at least keeping busy. That's always a good part. That's the most difficult part about stopping smoking is finding something else to do instead of smoking. It's the habit replacement thing. That's the most difficult part. So after 6 days, you should be past at least the biggest part of the physical addiction part. But everything else, it's that that what do you call it? Routine, the habit, that thing. Zachariah Hooper says, hi, at the plot hole. Did not see that Red Sox victory over the Rays. You didn't? It was a walk-off. It was a big one. It was a big one. I'm not a fan of the Rays or the Red Sox, but, if I had to pick one to win, I'm glad it was the Red Sox. Ooh, what are you having for dinner? Having dinner, where can I get one of these awesome days? You know what? If I could, I don't know. I wish I could tell you. Commander Darklight for $30.99 Aussie says working and lurking. Thank you very much. I absolutely appreciate it. You guys are awesome. But yeah, quitting. I remember when I quit. This was years ago. I stopped. Excuse me. I probably 20 years ago. I used to play in bands and whatnot. Don't tell my father. Don't tell my dad because he doesn't know. But no, when I was a smoker, the friggin' Pope is here. Good to see you, Pope. So is Simon H. Good to see you. But yeah, so where I quit, it was, I don't know. One day I just said I'm done with this. I don't want to do it anymore, and I just stopped. But you know what? Stopping smoking for me was never difficult. I just stopped doing it. I just put it down and walked away from it, and I was good. But some people it's more difficult, obviously for obvious reasons. I don't make any judgments on anybody, especially when you're trying to stop doing something that's habit forming like that. It's tough. Drinking for me, that was difficult. Still is, right? It's still a struggle not to drink. I just, I try to think about something different. I get those, you know, it's not, it's like whenever I'm, not feeling very, whatever, very happy or feeling a little down. Those are those are the ones that are easier to those are the cravings that are easier to curb, because you're like, no, I want to drink because I feel, sad, or I feel angry. That's just me, my way of trying to deal or cope with whatever stress it is. It's the it's like when you go to a baseball game, or you go out to catch a band play, just that stuff that you normally did just out of habit, right? Whenever I would walk into see a band play or go to play a club or a venue, the first thing I did after loading everything is I go grab a beer and a whiskey, and that was it. It's part of my relaxation routine. Um, excuse me. So yeah, that's the thing. That's for me. That was a routine that was hard to break. Even now, like right now with the weather changing, usually I would be outside and sitting down sipping on a either a craft beer or a scotch or something. It's just stuff like that. That's what, when you're not thinking about, oh, it's because I feel down and depressed, just because that's what I normally do. Is it's part of my routine for the longest time, up until about, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. So I know how difficult that can be, and it's tough. So 6 days, that's awesome. Let's see here. Arisen 1157. Good to see you, Sean Z. The only reason I prefer the Dodgers is home field advantage. Are you in good old Los Angeles, Sean? That's awesome. I have been to, well, I've been by the stadium. Thor Rasmussen is here. Good to see you, Thor. But yeah, Simon H has been smoke free since 1991. Smoked for 15 years before that. Yeah, it's a tough thing to quit. Really is. Really is a tough thing. Excuse me. It's all this freaking pollen. It's killing my asthma. Sean Z, Braves fan. Oh, I see. I see. You're a Braves fan. I get it. 3.5 years smoke free for, yeah, 20. It's man. Congratulations. It's a good one. Binary Tools is hi. Plato. Hello. Good to see you. Angie. Good to see you. Hey world. Hey world. Good to see both of you. So yeah, we had another look. I'm gonna say his name once and that's it. Daniel Pratt decided to, I don't know, crawl out from underneath his hole again. And look, here's the thing. He tries to bait all of us into talking about him, all the content creators that he just can't stand. He hates it when we don't talk about him. So we're gonna talk about him for a little bit, and then we're gonna leave him alone in the fucking dirt where he belongs. I'm really a football fan, and I don't watch as much baseball unless the Giants are winning. Hey, like I said, people like what they like. Did I see my favorite two bitches in a box truck? Did I see two bitches in a box truck? The plot hole, yeah, Paul knows me in two. Not looking forward to hay fever. It is bad. It's been, so we've got cold fronts and whatnot moving through. It's been so windy here. I went to put gas in the truck this afternoon, and my truck that's normally blue was green because of all the yellow pollen. And I just went like this, and it's just covered in pollen. It is awful. It is awful. That's been killing my allergies and whatnot. So yeah. What's up, your pal Al? Hey, she's your favorite. Oh, I know who you're talking about. She's my favorite. No, well, Mrs. Cat's my favorite, but two bitches in a box truck is pretty up there. Brainy Beaver, my spirit box may be able to get Dan Pratt as long as he is beside the water heater and grounded. They didn't explain why he needed to be grounded. What's up, Skooma Cat? Hey, Brainy, you want to join? You want to come on and talk some shit for a little bit? Mary Martle, good to see you. Mary Martle. Rezo Ski, good to see you. It's green when it should be blue. Consider respray. It's all that damn pollen. It's yellow pollen in a blue truck. It's just like this fine little, yeah, that's what it is. Joshua Lee, good to see you. Windy here as well in the Pacific Northwest. Stupid cold too. Blink, blink, blink. All right, let me get you a link, Brainy. Okay, Gina, it was pink. And then, because I got a temporary, not temporary, I guess it's a semi-permanent, it all washed out in the humidity because I haven't been washing the beard, which is probably why my wife doesn't want to sleep in the same bed with me anymore. But yeah, so it was pinker. Now it's just, oh, thank you. Thank you, two bitches in a box truck. It was pinker. There's still a little tinge of pink in there, just teeny tiny bit. But yeah, I need to. I'll redo it tonight. Zachary Hooper. My sister used to say, she probably still does, but my sister used to say it to me all the time. I don't drink water because fish fucking it. Well, that's true. They do. They do. Your hair is pink, like pink, huh? What's up, Christopher O'Connor? Good to see you. Let me get Brainy this invite here before I forget. Boom. Part of what I want to talk about has to deal with what Brainy covered. So Earth, what was that? So Earth ain't flat, is what you're saying. Well, yeah. What's up, Kick? I hope you're feeling better. Hope that mouth of yours is getting healed up and they didn't have to pull too many of them teeths. Fair enough. We won't go into details, trans girl. Anyway, so yeah, you got Dan Pratt wants to, rear his ugly head. They allow him to. I guess his wife every now and again unhooks him from that water heater so he can roam free. I think what she does is she releases him, hoping that he'll just disappear. But he never. He always comes back and rehooks himself up to that water heater. So it is what it is. But flat Earth, the best thing since wrestling. Yeah. Mouth is numb at the moment. Pain meds are working, but I have a stress headache. Those suck, man. Especially when you have like tooth pain, stress headache makes that tooth is worse. I hope she flogs him. I don't know. I get the idea that they might both be anti-science folks. I think they're both going to be anti-science folks. Hey, there's a beautiful woman. Hi. She just gave me the bird, said go fuck yourself. You guys want to see her? Let me see if I can get the camera turned. Oh, it's too dark. Can't see her. Oh well. She told me not to do it. She's probably currently looking for something to throw at me. I have all these lights in my face and I can't really see. So if all of a sudden something flies and hits me in the head, that's what happened. Just know so you can tell the cops, tell the detectives when they get here. Where is she at? She's still hiding. I can hear her. She's messing with something over there. I hear something. It sounds like she's getting a big kniff. A big kniff, I think. If we're really quiet, we might be able to hear her. Whoa, Brainy. You do what you do, buddy. Anyway, so he rears his ugly head and he tries to bait one of us, myself, FTFE, Team Skeptic, Irish Demon, somebody. He made that video about Irish Demon a couple days ago where he made fun of the fact that Irish made a shed. I'm sorry, a demon cave. Sorry, Irish. It's just like, really, that's what you're gonna make fun of. Uh-oh, what do I got? Hey, you don't have a shirt on. You don't have a shirt on. Go put a shirt on. You can't come on stream without a shirt. No, you can't come on stream without a shirt. Silly. Oh, okay. She'll be right back. What's up, Robert Caslow? I saw that response too, Josh. Charlie Welch says, I predict it's FTFE tomorrow. He goes after, and maybe you after that. Probably. Brainy Beaver says, can Dan Pratt ever make fun of me? Probably not, because you're a little close. I don't know. Dan Pratt can't really make fun of anybody because it's fucking Dan Pratt. Mrs. Cat, are you talking about ladies' night on AMG? That'd be kind of nice. Something we're doing every Saturday. That'd be cool. All right, you got a shirt on? Okay, you want to say hi to everybody? Hang on.
Hi, everybody.
Hang on a second. Let me do this. There she is.
Hi, everybody. Good night. I'm about to go to bed. I'm watching the Addams Family, the animated version.
Addams Family.
Excuse me.
Good night, sweetheart. Get some sleep.
You get some sleep.
What is sleep? Sleep is for kids. Daddy's not a kid anymore.
You still need sleep.
I still need sleep?
Yeah, because you got to go to work in the morning.
I don't have to go to work in the morning. I have to go work in the afternoon. Yeah, now it's a little different. Hi. See, she's over here. She's about to hit. See that hand right there? What you don't see is what's in the other hand. And then there's another. See that? Look, there's one. Look at this. Surrounded by people.
I love my
Here she comes. Oh, there's a murderer.
I love my dad.
Oh, all right. You go get some sleep.
A+ for being the best dad in the world.
A+ for being the worst dad in the world.
Best.
Oh, best. Okay. Sorry. Oh, geez. Wonder who she gets her manners from. I don't know. Gina Shaver says, got to go. Health and blessings to everyone. Gina, good to see you. You have a good night. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. Anyway, so yeah, you've got good old. What's going on here? Without shirt. Oh, we're supposed to have shirts on too much. Oh, Brainy. You're a funny guy. You're a funny guy. Anyway. So yeah, we got this guy who likes to make fun of everybody, say some really foul shit. And he put out his attack video on Team Skeptic. I don't understand. I don't get it, right? You don't like what people have to say about, flat earth or whatever, oh, you believe in the globe earth. No, I don't believe in it. And just acknowledge objective reality. Anyway, I was reading the side chat, got sidetracked. Fucking Brainy Beaver's here. Brainy Beaver is here in spirit. He'll be here in But yeah, you like I said, if you want to believe in flat earth, that's fine. If you don't like the fact that somebody challenges you for believing in flat earth, that's cool too. But to sit there and call somebody the R word, a rapist, because because of you have different political or different economic or different views on objective reality, science, etc. It's just stupid. There's that stuff that it's really irritating. By the way, this is a pro science channel. So you don't like it, that's cool. I get it. I got people, I got this one guy today. I'm unsubscribing because you support the jab. Bye. See ya. Have a good one. Don't care. But yeah, I don't understand why we have to go to that. And that's anybody. I don't look. I was against calling Nathan Thompson a child predator because that has a certain connotation. You know what I mean? Like technically, did he, was he targeting children with his, yes, right? But when you call someone a child predator, that has a connotation, has a certain stigma in it. And unless said person is a child predator, we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't call them. We shouldn't call them those things. Simply because, that's, you're going to get somebody hurt. You can get somebody seriously hurt doing stuff like that. And that's not cool. I wouldn't want anybody to go target Pratt for untrue things, right? I wouldn't, if I were to call, oh, Daniel Pratt's of this or Daniel Pratt's of that, and it was something that was incendiary, and God forbid somebody watched a video where I called Daniel Pratt something that he's not, right? And then they went out and did something, and that's kind of, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't think that I would be responsible, but definitely having an influence on that. If somebody said, hey, I did it because so and so said that he was this, then yeah, maybe I am a little bit responsible, but definitely a child stalker. He does have to all stalk children. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, right. So you want to call him that stuff? Absolutely. Grooming idiots for fluff has been misconstrued as the same thing. Yeah, it really has. And I don't agree with that. I don't agree with targeting children. I don't in any way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? Like if you want to target children to educate them on, health and wellness and whatever, you know what I mean, stuff like that. Even still, I'm like, hey, come on now. There's a place for that. They have schools, they have parents, etc. But what's up, Joe Whip? The globe is wider in the middle. Well, thank you for noticing. Jeez, I'm trying to lose it. What are you gonna do? But yeah, I just don't think that I don't. We shouldn't be doing that. Anybody, no one should be calling somebody a rapist or child predator or molester or any of that stuff without proof, right? Earth Chan is not flat, says keeping it criminal. Exactly. But yeah, so the ocean is prego. It is. Let's see here. I'm a mod for Hockey Site. It's so different from YouTube. I can delete any and all ad hominem attacks. If I had that power on YouTube, entire channels would be gone. Here's the thing. I am like my comment section, unless it's somebody saying something. Robert Caswell, yeah, Pratt said that today. Actually, he made his video today about Team Skeptic. But the my comment section is open as long as you're not being, hateful. You can be a little hateful, but we're not going to get into that. No racism, no transphobia, homophobia. We're not going to tell people to self harm. None of that stuff. That's just not going to happen. I won't. Those are the only times. Brainy Beaver says he's getting an odd audio bug. Well, I don't know. Don't tell you. But like I said, I just don't think that. I don't like to censor people. Say what you want to say. So if you want to say whatever you want to say about me, that's fine. Don't care. Like I said, but there are certain things I will set the example when it comes to, because YouTube does look at that, right? So they'll look at channels, look at comments, and that's all part of what the algorithm is looking for. So they see that there's a lot of interactions in the comment section, they like that. But if they see that there's a lot of spam or like racism and all that negative type stuff, and they don't really like that. Who doesn't like fluffy kittens? I like fluffy kittens. I just can't be around them because of my allergies. Simon H says, you do an excellent job, Johnny O. This is an awesome channel. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I try to keep this place open for just about anybody to come in and have their say, even the people that I don't agree with. Right. So like every now and again, Otangelo will show up, and that's fine. You know what I mean? I enjoy fluffy kittens, but I can't eat a whole one by myself. That's funny. You got to be careful with armadillos because armadillos have been known to carry. What is it? What is it? Oh, geez. Bark, bark, bark. Aminals. I can't remember something. Already talked about Gruden? No, Robert Castle. I have not talked about Gruden. So let's talk about Gruden now that we're waiting on Beaver. When Beaver gets here, we'll see what happens. Rabies. Is it rabies? It's leprosy. That's what it was. Ryan Cudliff, leprosy. Yeah. Yeah. Little Dickens leprosy. I couldn't remember. I knew it was something like that, but yes, Chucky from formerly of the Raiders and the Buccaneers and ESPN. Now, raise your hand if you're surprised that John Gruden is a little homophobic and potentially a little racist, maybe a little misogynistic. Raise your hand if you're surprised. If you're surprised, let me know. I'm not. I'm not surprised. I read his emails. Well, I read what I could read of his emails. I read the report, the stories on New York Times, ESPN, etc. All that stuff. What's up, Fred Knotts? Good to see you. I'm not shocked, and I don't think that it wasn't that much of a shock when I read the headlines today that this whole Gruden thing was going down. Like, I didn't know about the investigation. I haven't really been following. Daryl M says, I'm mainly surprised because I have no idea who he is. Yeah, it's an American football thing. What the people that Mr. Malore says, F Chucky. There you go. What's up, Miss Mandy 777? You had a bat fly down your chimney. I'm assuming you mean like your real chimney. Anyway, so the thing that is the shocker about this is that over the past probably 10 years, like hardcore 10 years, the NFL has gone through this phase where they're trying to like rebrand and inclusion and stop hate, stop racism, stop misogyny, homophobia, all that. Like that's like going through this. They're putting out this public persona that's what they're looking for. There he is. There's my buddy.
Hello.
Hey.
I had a bit of an echo. I don't know. Tell me if I've got it now.
No, you sound sexy.
I thought I sounded sexy, but that's just me.
You do. You sound very sexy.
You sound sexy too. Is your beard still pink? You have to unpink it.
I need to put some more in there. Because I got that
semi-permanent
stuff. Yeah, well, yeah, it's all
you can wash it out pretty good.
Yeah.
Wait, you can get semi-permanent stuff? I was gonna rock that shit.
Sorry. Well, so was
I literally haven't gone to a store. I haven't been to any stores. Hardware store. They don't sell hair products.
I would think that hardware stores in Canada would sell everything because there's not like a whole lot of people there.
That's so yeah, so what's funny is like I want to tell you though that myth persists even within Canada, right? Because I had a friend the other day, William is his name. We don't need to say last names obviously, but William, he sent me a message on I think it was Facebook Messenger. You get that ding, you're like, oh, look at that William.
Yeah, hey, what's this app that nobody uses
and
anymore?
It's like, yeah, hey, how's it going? Blah blah blah. And it's like, hey, we're hiring, my company I work for is hiring some guy that's from your town that you live in. His name is Lance. Let's say I can't. Do you know him? It's like,
yeah, I know Lance.
Looks like there's like 6,000 people here. I mean, it is a small town, but I mean, it's not like we don't all fit in the local church or something. Like,
right. Jeez. Pothole Johnny, the new television series Chucky starts in 14 minutes. Oh, I forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me. So we're talking about John Gruden. You've heard the story, yes, I'm sure. I'm sure you've heard the story, right?
I have to Google John Gruden.
He's, they call him Chucky. He's a professional.
Oh yeah.
Football. Yeah.
Well, no, not that Chucky. I knew a different Chucky.
Yeah, different Chucky. Yeah.
That one tried to murder children. He was a very psychotic stuff.
He did. Yeah, he murdered children. He did murder children. He murdered children.
He was like a Cabbage Patch Kid or something, wasn't he? Ultimately,
yes,
what was he?
Kind of. He was a good guy doll.
My little girl has this little thing from the thrift shop, which is a baby and it snores. But I'm going to tell you right now, the snore is not a baby snore. It is a 45-year-old grown man snore. It's this tiny little baby with his. I was like, and I'm like, where did they get the sounds for this thing? Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, John Gruden. My apologies. I see that it's okay. John.
No, you're good.
This is who John Gruden always was. So wait, he died.
What's up, Alan S? Is Hey, JL Warren's in the old chat.
Oh, no.
JL, you want to come on?
Fraud?
We can make this the. Well, no. So his problem was that.
Okay, you tell me. Inform me.
No, yeah. Here's the thing. So, funnily enough, in some emails, he was using potentially racist language. Definitely.
So my kind of guy is what you're saying. I'm kidding.
I mean, apparently, if you listen to some journalists, yeah.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm on the same note as you. We'll just leave it there. But Yeah, no, okay. So he was posting semi-racist or could be. Is it? I haven't seen it. So is it? Is it
would
one of those things like
consider
could
it,
be racist, but it definitely was?
yeah, it definitely was. I would consider
okay.
it racist, right? Because of the,
Fair
you
enough.
don't say that you don't say that a black person has his lips as big as tires in a, I would say that about a white person way. You know what I mean? That's not, I mean, that's just not something
Oh
you
my
would.
god. Yeah, but in her defense, okay, one of the whitest women around. What's her name? Pretty Woman.
Oh, Julia Roberts?
She Oh yeah, like they
Yeah.
tagged it just right on Family Guy when they were like, "You ever seen the lips on that woman? It's like a baboon's ass on a face," because they're just like, she's got a huge mouth, is all it is. Like she's
Yeah.
Julia
No,
Roberts.
I mean, yeah, but see, I get it.
physically, not. I don't know. Go ahead,
Yeah.
please. Don't let me run this show.
No,
It's
you're
her
good. No,
baby.
you're good. I think,
No,
like I said, I think
I'm way too ADHD. You got a guide. Lead me.
Yep. Like I said, and then he gets into the whole business where he's pissed off that they're allowing women to be referees in the NFL, which
Oh
is
Lord,
fucking stupid.
that's
It's
so
stupid.
dumb.
Like, really?
Wait. Do you think that their genitals could create bias within the ranks?
Exactly. So stupid. And then
Maybe the hottest boy on the team or something will get the most penalties because he's the baddest. Just like reinforce that bad boy image.
To put him on the sideline.
We're obviously, for people who don't get it, we're obviously making light of that.
We're kidding, of course.
100% satire.
But yeah, that's the thing. And then of course he called John Gruden a bundle of sticks or a cigarette.
Bundle of sticks.
Okay. Do you know what I'm saying?
Is it the old terminology?
For
the old accepted terminology for going out and having a nice smoke?
Yes.
Nice hard tea on the end of it, nice solid.
Right, because the Roger Goodell said that he should, or that the NFL should openly embrace players who are the LGBTQ plus.
It's like they think they're suddenly all gonna rip their clothes off in the middle of the
start
field
fucking and
just so having sex right there.
Right. Hey,
suddenly the whole ranks, everybody just melted on each other like butter on a set of flapjacks, you know.
Exactly, that's what it is. And Robert Caswell says British cigarettes. Yep. I mean,
well, I think they still is that an accepted term in any way in Britain? I know that.
So every now and again when I'm speaking to some people who live over, across the pond, they'll use that terminology like, oh, I'm gonna go have a fag.
I've heard somebody say go and have a fag, because
right.
Didn't even want to say it just because I don't want people to, but I've heard them say that, and it wasn't like it was like, oh.
Right. It's just part of their.
And then, of course, it totally takes the power out of it at that point, anyways, because that. I mean, if you ran up to them and called them that, they'd be like, "What an odd person to sit there and call us a cigarette."
It's funny you say that because the Westboro Baptist Church and Russell Brand. Well, Russell Brand used to have a television show, and he invited him on. It was like a Tonight Show late. I
must have got too high. I'm having to be reminded of all these people. I know who Russell Brand is. Russell Brand. Of course, I do.
Russell Brand. And then of course, the Westboro Baptist Church folks, right? The hate church.
Well, that's the ones that remind me of that one.
Those are the ones that would go protest. They would go protest funerals of fallen soldiers and saying that, God brought this on because anyway. So he invites these people on. Yeah, it really is.
Oh my God.
So he invited these people on, and they brought him a sign, one that said "fag pimp." And Russell Brand's like, "Well, I'm British, but that just means you want a cigarette."
So he needs a guy selling a lot of smokes out there.
Exactly.
Want a dar? Anyone want dar?
So he just took that away from him, which I think is amazing. I don't particularly appreciate that language. Well, and I
to me it's I mean, I think a lot of people know I have a gay brother. So I mean, I have that's why that one FTFE on that one, when was I moderating or was I just sitting in the back? I can't remember what the deal was, but there was that guy that started talking about those people on FTFE's show.
Oh, yeah, that was
it was a few weeks ago, and I was just quiet about it. And I was quiet when it first started, and it was like, because I was just bit my lip, and I'm like, you guys aren't about to really talk about this, are you? And then what triggered me was the moment he said, when they act the way they do. And I'm like, I know so many gay people and they fit every corner of the spectrum. I also know straight people that I thought were gay because they were very feminine.
Very feminine,
and
feminine qualities.
Yeah, and I literally asked him, at which point he was absolutely offended by the question, because he wasn't. But I'm like, don't know what to say to you, you know?
Yeah.
But he wasn't. That was in a separate group from like my brother and his friends and all the girls and all that stuff that they hang out with. And I mean, it's very true. He always had lots of girlfriends. Like,
I like I said, I mean, you know, growing up, I knew people that didn't fit what the hetero norm should have been, and they weren't.
A lot of people wouldn't.
Yeah, and they weren't gay. They were still, quote, they consider themselves straight males, straight men, but they had more feminine qualities. Nothing wrong with that. That's who they are. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but there's some people all the way to the extreme that if you let your wife touch your bum, you know, you'd be, you know, that would be wrong, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
What happened? What?
I said there's people that are all the way to the right so far that if you let your wife touch your bum,
oh,
you know,
yeah,
that would put you over the line of being gay.
Right.
Now, mind you, I have to draw a line at this thing that starts with a P and ends with an egging kind of thing, because that is there is something horribly wrong about what I see when I just personally, this is all personal choices. I'm just kidding. Well, I'm saying I got to draw a line for myself here is what I'm trying to say. We all got to have personal boundaries, but I'm definitely a non-kink shame. Oh, you've heard me talk. I always shock you and make you blush. I don't care what people do with their time. The biggest thing that offends me is like when people like are offended by gay people being gay. Like, okay, if they're trying to suck your dick, you know, if he's trying to peel your pants open and suck you or something, then and yeah, that's a little vulgar. But if he was going to that extent, then yeah, you got a right to be upset. But if they're going,
but not necessarily because they're a homosexual, but because they're, you know, physically assaulting you, they're sexually assaulting you.
Yep, absolutely. At that point, which at that point it doesn't matter. I mean, although
I don't care.
I'd like to argue that it doesn't matter if you're a beautiful, 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 beautiful woman. But I also feel like unless I'm committed, you know, which I am, I'm in a relationship. So now I'm off limits, you know, unfortunately. But, you know, you and Johnny, you and I both know that there was a time when that assault would have been, I mean, you would have fought it for the first second or two. And then you said, listen, we got to make a deal here.
Hey, Connie Johnson. No, here's the thing. Let me hit you with something really quick, right?
That might be
I hear a lot of people say that, like, well, if it were a hot woman, you wouldn't have a problem with it.
You'd probably be offended. You're right, because it would be
I'm not offended. It's not.
No, I'm saying as a person that had that happening to you, I joke, but I know where you're going with this. Is that it would probably be much more insulting to you as a human than we realize. I think in a lot of cases.
Well, yeah, for me, if you're looking at like you know, the don't touch me unless I say it's cool, and I won't touch you unless you say it's cool type of thing. Yeah. But what I mean is,
well, yeah,
like if I would be really uncomfortable if some really attractive woman just started coming up on me, like trying to, you know, like,
well, I would think you're after my wallet, first of all, and not like a long-term baby daddy sense. Like, I mean, right now I'm in physical harm. Like somebody is about to sneak up behind me, put a bag over my face, and take my goddamn stuff. Because, you know, I like to think of myself as this keen, you know, like rock star, sexy figure here, but I have a feeling that's just not what's in reality. And
okay,
it's so like these people that have these online romances. It's like, I gave him $40,000. It's like, so you're telling me a person approached you on the internet, said, hey baby, and you sent them money?
That's all I have to do.
Sorry,
I'm kidding.
Yeah, it's
hey baby.
Over there.
Yeah, exactly. Rolling in. No.
Oh, some of those people, I feel bad for them, but at the same time, there's like, I have to say this. Stupid people have been getting flossed forever. And like, we can't stop it ultimately. Like you know, you need to let, you know, like I got a text the other day and it said TD, you know, capital TD. Oh, it sent it in a burst, 3 of them at like a couple minutes apart. Like somebody was trying to access a bank card and it said denied access. I'm not a TD bank member. So for me, it was just delete.
Right.
But for somebody who's a TD Bank member, it was like, oh, somebody's trying to break into your debit card. Quickly, click this link, click this link.
Yeah, never
So,
do that.
and
Don't do
the
that.
thing is, but they send you alerts that way. So the problem is if you're not savvy enough, or if you're elderly now with a smartphone because
Right.
mama gave you a phone, you know, your daughter gave you a phone because mom, I need you to be able to answer the phone. And by the way, it's really hard to find a flip phone now, even in developing nations, because they just don't even make them anymore. Like you're
Yes, they
basically
do.
here's well, I mean, we can't buy them. I can't get one.
You might not be able. I
Maybe.
could. Yeah, I get them all the time, all day long,
Oh.
all day, every day.
I figured I'm a developing nation, I guess. Anyway, no, I can't. My wife went and got a new phone like in the spring. I know that's what it was. Her mom did not want technology. She just wanted a phone. She could open it,
Right.
dial the number,
Yeah.
and hit talk. And she was like, they were like, we don't even have one to give you. Like, here's the most basic touchscreen phone we have. Like, but you're taking it, you know, kind
Yeah.
of thing. It was like, all right, like, but
That's
at some
true.
point, let's face it, they're gonna stop. Although, okay, so I think I have realized the difference here. It's the difference between America and Canada and the way our phone systems work, because I can't go to a vending machine and just buy a goddamn phone and open it and start making calls to my my black, you know, market uranium dealer or something. I'm just using a really extreme example.
Thank you for stopping by, Syrian.
By
Yeah.
the way, am I like lagging here with my? Oh, my camera just changed. You see that?
It did.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's that. You have to go in your camera settings and turn off that auto. I have to do it every time. The auto brightness.
Adjustment. I did turn it off, but it's every once in a while Windows will just take hold of it again.
Yeah.
And, anyways, go ahead, take over again, please.
Our banks do not send emails; they either use as a post or send you the messages to the app. Yeah, and I try and tell everybody, look, if you get an email from anybody, or if you get a text from anybody, go directly to the website, right? So if you bank with Wells Fargo and you get an email from Wells Fargo that says you have to log into your account, don't click on any links in the email. Just go straight to wellsfargo.com and then log in that way, or go to your app. Something like that. Don't ever do it through any, even if it's a legitimate, doesn't matter. Just don't do it. What are you doing over there?
I'm playing with my Zoom. No, I'm resetting all the things back to what they should be, because apparently it turned up the brightness compensation.
Yeah.
Changed the white balance. It just set everything.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I have to reset. Like every time I turn my computer off and turn it back on, I got to do it.
I did that, but I don't know. I was having, you know how it is. Windows is a bitch sometimes. They probably just updated something in the background and said, here's your camera settings. Have fun. You know?
So, okay, here's a fun fact about Johnny. Johnny, I used to, I don't talk about myself in the third person like a dickhead. I still do every now and again whenever the time arises, but I used to bartend. I used to do private parties and whatnot, weddings, private parties, all that fun stuff. And I wore a kilt. I was a kilted bartender. And obviously, here in the States, especially in Texas, there's not a whole lot of people who wear kilts outside of St. Patty's Day and whatnot, right?
I wouldn't think it's a big deal, though.
You wouldn't think it's a big deal, but
oh my god, I love this already.
but
it's so good. It's so good.
Being the fact,
I just love the how people just love getting in other people's business. I mean, you can cock a third eye, like you can angle your head and go, "What the fuck?" if you want, but just get away.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? So, being that I was in a, like I said, I'm in a state that generally doesn't see that, and it's always at somebody's either bar mitzvah or wedding, or a bar mitzvah, open bar to bar mitzvah.
It is more likely that you, but people also leave those goddamn events. They don't necessarily, like, I've been at a Subway and been like, bunch of dudes in kilts. Like, right. I assume they weren't just like frolicking about in town. They were probably, off to an event or something. Like,
right. Well, so here I am. I'm doing my thing.
Go ahead, though. I guess I have too much reason and logic. Sorry.
You do.
Didn't mean to interrupt your awesome story with all that.
Cock a third eye. Very poor choice of words.
Well, I mean,
I like that.
That's a good point. Oh, yeah. Coming from JL. No, I'm joking. He perked up immediately.
So anyway, here I am.
Very poor choice of words.
Very poor choice of words. Yeah.
I did say it and said to myself, the fuck does that mean? So don't get me wrong. I'm with you.
So here I am. I'm bartending, and usually this happens more at weddings than anywhere else. So I'm at this wedding, and I'm bartending, doing my thing, making drinks, and this lady comes up to me and says, "So, are you wearing underwear under that kilt?" I'm thinking,
That's amazing.
First, if I were to walk up to a woman and ask her if she was wearing underwear under her kilt,
oh yeah, the police are already on their way.
Right. Before I could get the question out, she's already slugged
The
me.
bartender has called on her behalf because some creep is walking around in the bar asking women if they're wearing underwear.
Exactly. Right. And I said, you could, of course, me being who I am, I just looked at it and said, no, that costs you money.
Oh my God,
Right?
I love it so much.
So this lady thinks that she's like, oh, I'm just going to walk behind the bar and pull up your kilt.
Really?
Yes.
That's definitely called assault.
We're just meat.
Like we've moved.
That's what we are. We're just meat.
We've just moved from the realm of saucy lady to excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And of course, I'm trying to be accommodating to the other guests and not show my wang dang. And I swat at her hand, hit the kilt out of her hand, and say, "Excuse me, you didn't pay for that." And then
That's amazing. It's still perfect.
Yeah, but Jesus Christ!
Oh my God! Excuse me, you didn't pay for that? That's amazing.
What was you gonna say? Hey, bitch, don't fucking touch my skirt.
Probably what I said. The ADHD makes me a little bit spontaneous.
Yeah.
Ziggy for the facts. Dear Penthouse.
Charlie, what else did you got there with you? Yeah. And then what happened?
I was asking. Now we won't say who it's to represent. It could be anybody. But Johnny, I was asking Johnny. We could poll the audience. Do you think that it is a terms of service violation to have a blow up sex doll as your sidekick for at least a few streams, anyways, fully clothed, and they have that blow me face? So you definitely have to put a mask on it. But it's very topical right now. You can cover them up, and it looks just like right on target. So no concerns there, right? So
I think that would be okay.
Right on target. So? Another very poor choice of words.
You just think just dirty as I do. You and I get along. My wife is just she's like, enough, okay. Like, well, you know what I mean. If you've got that kind of, if you're
about your dirty things, you bastard.
If you try to angle everything like that, you can. I think language was developed by people that wanted to have sex with other people, because you can almost make anything.
I mean, think about it this way: there are like what 3 main reasons to communicate with somebody.
It's like food. Probably you gotta go to the bathroom. Get out of my way.
Yeah. And then the other. Transgirl says, at the plot hole, I just saw a video where they said 70% of service employees have experienced some sort of sexual assault. I would definitely agree with that.
I had a drunk teacher want to grab my ass just right out of the blue. Just jeez. Yeah, I was dropping off their drinks, and she happened to have me. She was kind of, she was a MILF, but she was kind of tipsy. But she was like, oh, and then she like felt my arm, and I was kind of like, okay, that's great. Yeah, I gotta go back to work. And as I turned around to walk away, just straight up grabbed my ass. I was kind of like, okay, so that's what that feels like. Yeah.
Antonio Banderas, that would be. You got to get the he's got to have the Oh my, that would be great. Actually, now you've made me want to get an Antonio Banderas one, just because you said that now. In fact, is this something that can be purchased actually? Amazon. Let's start there.
Yeah. So Angie, you bring it. Said, yeah, you don't do that. Let that be her skirt. And oh hell no, not my golden vagina. Rape whistle, then the coppers. Yeah, exactly. If if the situation were reversed, I would have been locked up, or I would have got the shit beat out of me. Right.
You should have yelled "stranger danger" when she did it.
Oh my God! It's not going to be a thing because it's name brand.
Mrs. Schrodinger's cat says, "Now you man meat know what us women go through." No, absolutely. I have done the best that I can to never put a woman or anybody in that position. But that was the point I was going to make earlier with Brainy, talking about when like groping and whatnot. That for me, it's just no. It's no. I would be uncomfortable. I would feel uncomfortable if a woman came up to me and just started like grabbing them. Like there've been times in bartending and service and whatnot where some weird shit like that's happened, and I've always gone back to my wife like, look, this is and she's oh well, yeah. Like no, it's really uncomfortable. I don't like it.
My self-esteem is so low. When it happened to me, I wasn't, and I would admit I was better looking then than I was now because I was putting forth a real concerted effort to do that. But my self-esteem is so low that I didn't really. I was kind of like, I didn't feel what you felt, which is weird. So what does it say about me in that respect? I'm just sitting there thinking about, because it was weird because it was out of nowhere that had never happened to me before in my life, and I was like, okay, that's. Right. So that's what that kind of feels. So that's what it's like. Just to be okay. So but that's just weird. It was strange to me because to me, I didn't get the whole like. I understand how it is offensive because it wasn't asked for, and it was just like out of the blue, and I was like, oh wow, just objectified. Right. In that respect, but then my self-esteem is so low, and I don't think very highly of myself. So it's kind of like. Oh, it was kind of validating. I'm sorry.
Yes.
It's so terrible.
Women want to grab my ass. No, I'm kidding.
This is a safe for work. Pretty much basically just black hair. I mean, got black chest hair, curls. I could probably pretend it's Antonio. I just have to get some like leopard print clothing to throw on it, and away we go.
D Rabbit says I slap people behind the head just for saying rude things to servers and barmaids in bars, even friends. Yeah, we just don't do that, man. It's just not cool. You know what I mean? It's one thing if you have like a familiarity with this person and you're not being overly vulgar or whatnot. And here I am saying this shit after some of the fucking roasts I've done of Tina.
I'm buying a 6 foot long blow up banana, just so you know. This is
I love this
as we speak.
Who is it?
100%.
Who put that? Keeping it criminal. And we see the brainy beaver fixated on the features, seeking the best deal for his co-host. He is thrilled with his search, but he must validate.
Well, you know what? I diverted to the 6 foot inflatable goddamn banana is what actually happened. I saw Antonio there right away, and then after that, I was like, "Is that really a 6 foot banana for only $20?" Yeah.
Joshua Lee says, "Excuse me, my eyes are up here." That's what the plot hole should have said. Angie wants to know why you have no confidence. The intellectual knowledge is attracting more than temporary looks.
It was just a matter of, I just have terrible self-esteem. I don't think very highly of myself, despite, especially at the time, because I'm like, when you grow up and you're kind of bullied all your life, and you're, I'm short. Johnny can attest to how short I am. He's met me in real life. I'm actually quite short.
You're not. Look, you make it sound like you're 4'2". You're 5'9". You're not.
So
you're not a dwarf by any means, but you're not fucking Shaq, of course.
Well, this is true, but I'm a shorter guy. I'm on the shorter side, and
you're average height. You're average male height.
And I've always been when I was younger, I had a real problem with my weight. I was always a really, really heavy guy, and at the time that this happened, I'd managed to trim up because I was really focusing on my acting career, and I was really focused on making myself look good. So I mean, at the time, I looked honestly, I looked the best I've ever done in my life. I was like, because I'm actually a little shorter than 5'9". My boots tend to add a little bit of height, but I was about 180 pounds. I looked fantastic, and I was just putting forth a real effort. And then it happened to me, and I was kind of like, oh, wow. But even then, that's the wild thing, is that even when you grow up the way I grew up, dealing with the crap that I dealt with when I was, the bullying and just the attacks and crap, and you just get used to that mentality. You start thinking of yourself through that lens, that you're not worth anything. Even when you bust your ass and you do the work and you get yourself, that self-esteem stuff just doesn't just vanish. It doesn't disappear. You got to really work on that. You got to work on that stuff. Yeah. And I realized that even then, when I was like, I could look in the mirror and be like, wow, I really am impressed with the work I've done. I really like how I'm looking, got kind of like the shadow of a six pack and everything. I'm looking really, really good. And then this happens and I realize I'm not offended. That it didn't like, it was like, oh my God, I can't believe you do that. Like, I'm so offended. That wasn't the initial. I realized that those problems go way deeper for me than I actually envisioned.
Right.
It's like, even when I look like this, I still have like almost no self-esteem. Like, I don't respect myself enough to be offended by that because no one had ever done that to me before, ever in my life. And it was like, wow. So it was just a wild experience for me.
It's different. It is different. I gotta say, I'd always heard, and growing up, especially in a overly masculine area, in the time frame that I grew up, and there's that masculinity that we're supposed to objectify women, and here in the States, we get bombarded with just like advertisement after advertisement, sex. We get bombarded with it. And then having to,
and meanwhile, you guys are pretty tame compared to the rest of us. It's crazy.
That's the craziest thing. We want to sit here and talk about what we can and can't do. Like, our movie rating systems will give a movie that's got a lot of blood and guts and shooting, whatnot, PG-13, but you show one nipple.
Dude, nipple. Okay, when I was younger, and not even younger, like a teenager younger, so half my life ago, but or plus, either or less. Right. I don't even know. Anyways, doesn't matter. So I remember there was a Bailey's ad. You guys may remember this ad. Remember, there's a Bailey's ad where everybody's having a night and they're all laughing and pouring Bailey's. How it is. Apparently everybody lives in a really nice place that has like stainless steel, everything, you know what I mean? The whole vision. And at some point he's cleaning up some spills of Bailey's and he's like using his little bar rag and he's wiping up a couple little dollops of Bailey's on the counter. And then all of a sudden she's like, you hear like, you hear her kind of like grab his attention. I can't remember if she whistles at him or if she goes, hey, or whatever, like up here or something like that. And he looks up and there's like, I think it was like there was Bailey's on, it was down here on the edge of her, like, or like it was just, it gotten on the like she was fully clothed, like, well, like a nice evening gown and stuff. Sure. But anyways, it was in a slightly more sexual place, but not hardly at all. And they ended up having so many complaints from the American audience because we get a lot of the same ads that you because we're North America. We're
prudes over here. We really are.
Well, they literally digitally removed it. All of a sudden, the same ad was playing, and it was all the way up here, back on her shoulder strap, like all the way up on her, like top of her, and it was like, oh, over here. It was like, anyways,
because
totally moved it.
They use Bailey's and buttery nipples, which is why the commercial is funny.
I mean, I'll tell my wife all about that and ask her if I can butter her nipples, but exactly how do I make this? We were supposed to have our podcast start potentially today, but I had two things collided. I had to start a big project, and of course, it is on first days of things. You gotta, at the very least, I had to show up and get a furnace in place and hang that thing I said was going to hang, so that I can, make sure I got the other equipment I got to get coming. And how it goes. But my wife also had the child, which would normally be off at daycare, was here. So, but that's what we're doing. I have it all set up. It's ready to go.
I'm looking forward to that. So we're going to get back to what Artie's question. He says, I was at a wedding. So what did Gruden say? It's not just the one thing that he
that's
said.
So true. My apologies.
No, you're fine. We get off on tangents here. Here we go. Some old dude for $5 says Puritan heritage. That's true.
Yes.
That's exactly what it is.
John Gruden. Okay.
So back to John Gruden. JL, did you see this? Did you see this news story? Thank you very much, some old dude. I appreciate that. Did you see that news story about John Gruden and his emails?
John Gruden,
the football coach, he was with the Raiders and the Bucks and the Raiders again, and then he just he just resigned because the emails came out where he used extreme homophobic, transphobic, and misogynistic, without question, borderline racist. The comment he made about I forget which official it was, said that it was another black official talking about.
I didn't know Doc Dawkins was a football coach. Sorry, I slipped that in there. No,
okay.
I'm not familiar with Gruden because I don't really follow that area. But
oh man, I meant to. Let me see here.
Was he like a legendary coach? Was he like, you know?
I don't know if he was legendary. He was definitely. He was known as Chucky. Because
he looks just like Chucky now that I think of it.
Chucky,
like one picture of him on Google there, that one of the first ones that comes up. It's like, that is Chucky, straight up.
All right,
I mean, is this like Bill? You know, it coming out that Bill Belichick cheated?
So does he not still claim he did?
I know a little bit about sports.
All right, so the New York Times.
I know probably less than everybody here.
That's all right. The New York Times caught a group of Gruden's emails. One of them, this is an email that he wrote in 2015 referring to Jeff Fisher, then Rams coach, who made Michael Sam the league's first openly gay draft pick. This is what he said. He said, Goodell, talking about Roger Goodell, the NFL commissioner, Goodell shouldn't call Fisher and tell him to draft queers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Let's see here. There's some other ones in here that were just, I mean, it was.
What a tool.
Yeah.
How do these people not think that these things are going to get out? It just has to hit one desk where the person completely morally disagrees with what's been said.
It should have been realized after the Sony hack that everybody is looking at everything and everybody's going to find your crap, and that's what's going to happen to me. I mean, come on. In this day and age, they thought that those emails were so deep in the Sony vault that no one would ever find them. And guess what? They saw the light of day. So, yeah, it comes down to
like the Pandora Papers now, too.
How old is this guy?
He's in his, I want to say he's in his late 40s, early 50s now, maybe 50s, 60s. But he's been in football for a few decades.
This fucker should understand optics.
Oh, here's the thing. They didn't think they were going to
get caught. Just never thought those were ever going to see the light of day. He was sending it to somebody he trusted. And, he'll never. But then, of course, people also don't delete shit. Like, you have emails from fucking 10 years ago sitting in there.
So Sean Z said they found it investigating the Washington football team. The emails were to the team president. So. Yeah.
And in some places, when you're president of thing, you're not even allowed to delete, depending on what things are, you're not allowed to delete things if it's like an organizational email and, so the next guy sits down and looks at this and goes, holy shit. That's all it takes. But how did they get it all though? How did it leak? Like it leaked, right? Like somebody leaked it.
From what I understand, there was somebody who turned it over. I forget who was I think it was the Times.
But it hit somebody's desk exactly like I said that didn't agree with what
they've been looking into this stuff for quite some time. I mean, this has been an ongoing investigation into the inclusion message that the NFL puts out, that they're telling everybody they want to be inclusive, but at the end of the day, they aren't real. What are they really doing? Like they're giving what the point they were trying to make is that they knew that this good old boys club is still running rampant throughout the NFL, and they just didn't care. They don't care.
Did you see that Apple had a leak where their memo about no leaks leaked? Or Apple or Amazon?
I saw
it was like the memo about not leaking leaked immediately.
That came up on my Reddit feed.
That's
funny.
Whoever's in charge of that was kind of like, had this big deal. It was like, I'm so sick and tired of all these leaks and all this, and then it got leaked. So yeah,
that's funny. That's funny. Well,
because these corporations for a long time have been sending around private emails and trying to conquer the world as one. And they're just not happy that partly what's happening is there's a different generation moving into seats and different viewpoints are starting to hit different desks.
Right.
Is what's happening. Yeah. That's why you're seeing a lot of this.
Yeah. I mean, so, the NFL has got this big push about, no hate and racism, whatnot. And then the story like this surfaces. So Gruden did what he jumped the gun and said, I'm going to resign because I'm going to get fired anyway. So I'm going to leave under my I'm going to leave under my own, under my own accord. And I mean, it's just, and like I said, the thing he said about, apparently he was also sharing topless photos of the Washington cheerleaders he was sending them to other executives and whatnot.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did he get them? Was from his escapades with them, I guess. Probably had a casting couch session for them to get the job.
So NFL coaches don't hire the cheerleaders.
You don't know that. He has
It's
to check
true.
out the merchandise, sir.
What?
Check out the
Hey,
merchandise.
did you not see? Did you not see Zach and Miri make a porno? That was entirely.
No. I got it. No, I got it.
he was there just to look at titties and just say yes or no.
Yeah. Talking about what's his name, Craig.
Huck it, chuck it, football.
That guy was awesome.
That's one of your guys, Tyler Labine.
Yeah.
That dude is funny as hell.
Football. He's just fucking drunk.
Just when he comes in, just drunk, just can I get a coffee?
Smiles at the two people that are banging against the counter and just goes back to ordering his drink like nothing's going on. They're like, I think it was right when they were pouring beans over themselves too.
Simon H says it was the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal that broke the story. Which, because I read the original New York Times and there was another one that came out today, or it was, I guess, it was updated after he resigned because they caught wind of these emails a couple of days ago, and then apparently there were more emails that came out, and Gruden just said, "Fine, I'll resign because I'm going to get fired anyways," which is true.
Yep.
I'll take my fate into my own hands.
Right. And here's the thing, here's a jacked up thing about it. The guy he didn't have to go to work for the Redskins. He was making enough money he's got money. He doesn't need this job, So ultimately, what did he do? He just cost himself what? He already won a Super Bowl. He already, set himself up retirement funds with money and all that stuff. So he's not going to really cost anything. I mean, sure, somebody might throw a tomato at him when he goes to the supermarket, but
And he walks out, he sits down, opens up the paper, and reads about the Pandora Papers, where all his money was.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, right?
Pretty much.
I mean, that's what happened to a lot of people just recently. I mean, it was like world leaders, too. Like existing sitting world leaders that are
Transville, I agree.
Country's taxes.
Transville, I agree. It is not acceptable no matter what. I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree with you. That
of course not.
Closet case, like I said, that I'm not going to go out and say that what he said was racist. I think it's highly questionable and more than likely is because you don't talking about another black person talking about their lips are as big as tires. You don't come on.
What?
Man.
What the fuck?
Yeah. That was
back to Forrest Gump.
Yeah. Right.
Wow.
The lip boy's gonna get caught up in a tripwire.
Yeah. You just don't say that stuff. You don't say that stuff.
And that whole point was he was being racist to him about his lip. His lips saying,
because I got big gums.
I got big gums.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. Effed Up World says it's your beard pink or it's a lighting. No, his beard is pink. Mine was pink, but it washed out. I'm gonna put some more pink and re-dye it tonight to get it back to pink again. But we are raising money for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The Pink Fund. I got links in the description box below. There's a direct link if you want to go straight to the Pink Fund. There's also the PayPal link if you want to put it into the big PayPal fund. Either way, if you want to do it a direct whatever to a different charity, that's fine too. I just want to get people involved. Yeah, Simon H, you're probably right. Alex Jones will hire him. Probably would. That and the
keep
Blade.
Trying to get a keeps sponsorship.
You should get one. You could get one.
I said I keep putting it out there that either Keeps or Dollar Shave Club. This could go either way. Now is the time to sponsor this guy and watch the transformation happen. That's funny.
So there's
real quick.
I think this got accelerated by the YouTube life here a little
probably.
bit.
Effed Up World. JL and I have been trying to get a hold of you about possibly doing a theist atheist debate. So, look at you, Morpheus. Trunk Monkey says I dyed my hair pink. That is awesome.
There you go.
There is some.
I meant to by now. I'm gonna try it still to hit a store that has pink hair dye. That's what I don't have is like a lot of
Amazon has
kind of buildings here. That's a good point, actually. You're right.
Anyone hear about the Southwest Airlines issue this morning? No. What happened, Josh Lee? What happened? Let me know.
Was it the crying baby? Which one?
Let's see. American and Southwest Airlines reject Texas's ban on vaccine mandates. Southwest pilots warn fatigue, frustration could fuel other outages. Let me see. I guess cancellation slowing for I'm not sure. The Southwest Airlines had an epic meltdown this weekend.
I saw an old mail pouch tobacco type barn today painted pink for Breast Cancer Awareness Month in the middle of the mountains in nowhere, West Virginia. That's pretty cool. Effed Up World says, I am in. Send me or send JL an email and we'll get that set up.
Okay, so according to Southwest...
Is it racist to call Team Skeptic a gap-toothed mankini wearing toothpick? No, because that's nothing his race.
It's funny, that's for sure.
Let's see. So according to Southwest, weather and air traffic control snafus began grounding a number of flights on Friday, upwards of 2,000 flights, which was like a third of their schedule. Yeah. The FAA confirmed that a staffing shortfall at an ATC center, weather and military training exercises caused cancellations and delays. Southwest said it was essentially, there was a cascading effect in which other flights have been canceled because of these labor and airline issues.
The real story is initially Southwest said, oh, they pointed the finger at the fucking AT whatever. And they're the ones that finally came out and said, no, thank you. We're running fine. You have a problem on your
There was some truth to it, man. Let's see. It has something to do. Let's see. Southwest predicament has become a talking point for conservative commentators and politicians in their campaign against vaccine mandates. That would be wild if there was some truth to a mandate causing these problems, which it didn't.
80% of the people here are vaccinated, double vaccinated. So, I mean, the people that aren't are a minority anyways already.
I have no idea what's going on. Apparently,
what's the double vaccination rate for America right now? As like, I know it dips and it's the same here. It dips and weaves in different places. But what is the overall? Is there a number on that?
That's a good question. I have to look it up.
I was just curious. I mean, the number I gave is actually I should preface that the number I gave is actually my provincial number.
The
same as comparing it to any one of your states.
When have facts ever gotten in the way of anti-vax narrative? Never.
And did you see the meme where it says shows like vaccine research, and it's a woman like in a lab with she's like got two beakers and she's got that big test tube thing and goggles on and everything, and it's like anti-vax research. It's a woman on the shitter on Facebook.
Yep. That's exactly what that.
Yeah,
that's what kills me when people talk about you need to do your research. I'm like, okay, cool.
You need to talk to.
Yeah, I'm not a
55.
Right. I'm not a freaking virologist or an immunologist. That's not my field. So when you talk about I need to do my research, what exactly do you mean? Do you mean I need to get on Facebook or YouTube and look for confirmation? Confirmation of your anti-vax bullshit? No. If you want me to do research, cool. I'm going to put that in the hands of people who do the research.
Well, all right. So then, what if I've done the research when they hold that sign that says "Do your research"? Last comment, and then what if they've done the research and I think you're an idiot?
Right.
Does that mean that suddenly I'm the wrong one because I think you're an idiot?
Right.
I mean, yeah.
So apparently the Southwest is blaming the pilots union. The pilots union is blaming Southwest is essentially what's going on.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. There's not a lot of information available publicly. So essentially Southwest initiated a vaccine mandate and and then of course the pilots union had an issue with that, so they filed suit because they say it violates labor laws. And then there's a back and forth going on. So it's between the pilots union, it's between Southwest. Unfortunately, but the weird thing is that no one else is having this issue. American, United, no other airline is having these problems. It's only Southwest.
So then it's clearly a Southwest problem.
Yeah. Ziggy for the fact that 59% double vaxxed in the U.S. as of the 11th.
Did you hear about the kid crying for the entire 8-hour flight over the Atlantic? If you haven't heard about it, I mean it. Like 8 hours. Even in the comments, there's people like, damn, I'm going to be honest, screaming for 8 hours straight is actually impressive. The flight starts with the kid. He's climbing on the seats. And the comment I loved the most was, people were like, looks like the kid has the mom said apparently to the flight attendant, like the child has behavioral issues. And one of the comments was like, yeah, the kid has behavioral issues. He needs a fucking ass whooping issues. I was like, exactly.
No,
I'm
that's
joking,
not exactly
but I know you don't.
Yeah.
I know you don't actually calm
You
down.
gag him.
There is that video. There's that
Yeah.
video of that lady. I just saw somebody post up on it, like a TikTok thing about Trunk Monkey said, dude on TikTok said his peeps in Tennessee said his buddies. Why is it a friend said a friend of a friend said his buddies cured from ivermectin? And then it reminded me of that video that came out of that lady's like, you know, I'm perfectly healthy. I got the ivermectin. I have the antibodies. That's not how that works.
Nope.
That's not how that
works.
Ivermectin has no antibodies other than I don't even think it has.
I
can't
gotta
even.
say,
Right,
poison.
that's not how
There's no
that
antibodies,
works.
it's
And
the
so
funniest thing in the world.
Then she
the
winds up
funniest
at the hospital with COVID.
Yeah.
And then she can't get in because it's like, you dumbass.
Yeah.
This is a thing that's kind of bugs me, is like, how can people not do math? Like I said to somebody, I said, listen, the reality is it moves so quickly uninhibited that when they did their quick math, they just went up, 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 and their eyes turned into saucers because they went, oh, okay. And then people say, whoa, 99% of us are going to be fine. Well, that's great. But that 1%, the 1% that could need proper care at a hospital. Well, I mean, I don't know about you, but the local city nearby, 1% is 8,000 people. So I don't think they have 8,000 beds in the province, let alone, of intensive care with oxygen bottles and nurses and doctors and people to actually help them and the medicine and everything. What I've told somebody, what the reality is that what they're afraid of is just us getting overrun and quickly.
Sean Zeke, it's got it.
Really quick, it was never about stopping the spread. It was about slowing it down, making it manageable.
Yeah.
That's all it was about.
Not to overwhelm.
They still believe what they're not.
Infrastructure.
And what they're really not telling people, what you really, if you talk to the right person, what they really aren't kind of trumpeting is that we're all going to probably catch this eventually.
Yeah.
And the reality is they want our immune systems to be as prepared as possible.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby? I don't want to deal with this shit.
This is what, if you talk to a lot of immunologists and doctors in the know, if you talk to them, they say that we are, generally speaking, we're all, other than the odd person that doesn't get it because they're, or they might have got it, but their immunity, but like in general, they said that they believe that it is going to hit everybody. They just are trying to spread it out so that we can all get sick slowly and not overwhelm the system.
And then hopefully we've built up enough herd immunity where it's not as detrimental.
Prevalent, exactly.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Sean,
Because if you talk to the right doctor, they talk about getting this down to a seasonal thing again, or like one day, hopefully soon, getting it down to seasonal, which basically tells you right there that they have accepted this is endemic now. It is going to be part of and what a lot of people don't realize. Just to add one more thing for you guys, the swine flu, which was actually like 50% fatal for humans that caught it. That's in the vaccine you get because most viruses tend to that's the scary part. They tend to move in a direction where they're less aggressive. And then they move away from anyways. I'm realizing we could be like labeling your stream here, so we should move away from this. But all I was going to say is that when they give you the vaccine for the flu, the swine flu is now in that vaccine because it's actually one of the normal flus that is seasonally with us every year. One of the same swine flu virus they were worried about, and they had every right to be, but eventually it toned itself down. It worked its way into us and slowly herd immunity into our populace.
Right.
So Sean Zeke was saying you cannot mandate vaccines. I have vax, but just like you could not make people get insurance, you cannot make them vax under penalty of law. They are stupid, yes, but lawfully correct. Incorrect, sir. We do make people get insurance. It's called liability only. And the point of that is because you have to have liability and minimum liability insurance to drive in America. The reason for that is because when you don't have it, that sends costs through the freaking roof. That requiring liability only insurance, requiring that staved off so much economic, basically economic calamity by having that in place. So yes, is
insuring a car though the same example? Jail?
Well, no, it's the same mentality is what it is. It's the same idea behind it is that when you have if everybody's running around the road and the insurance is not required, you think about what's going to happen to people. They start crashing into one another. Okay, you have people ducking out on their responsibilities, people left with no protection for a loss of a vehicle or possibly injury whatsoever. These things could bankrupt people. You're looking at economic destruction on a level that
well, then it affects society as a whole, because now you have people that are broke, they're poor, they're down on their luck, the crime starts increasing,
and that's the reason that is the reason why they put that. That's the reason why they made that a mandate. It's the exact same reason why we make people wear safety belts. The point is that there is a thing that you need to do to avoid this big giant problem. And yeah, we will mandate different things. Mandate you wearing a seatbelt. That is a law.
Fortified cereals, because they realized that when they didn't fortify the cereal, add iron and stuff like that to things like cereal and certain products of food that we generally eat a lot of, because wheat products in general, I think corn products, when they didn't fortify it, people like, oh, fortified, or adding things to food. Well, guess what? They did that because everybody was getting liver damage and they were getting scurvy and they were getting all kinds of these bullshit, these preventable health things that were causing, because they were missing a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And so they just added it to the most common staple items. They made it law that it has to have certain percentages of your daily intake. So they know that in general, one day we might be low, but another day we might be high, and it'll all work out that we get enough nutrients that we can survive. And frankly, that's the only reason that you can have people that I had a girlfriend that would eat mashed potatoes, because I guess I don't know if she's trying to lose weight, but she was like, and I remember saying to her, like, you can't just eat mashed potatoes, right? Like you need nutrients. She's like, you don't know what you're talking about. She stopped having her period eventually because her body was like, she was like starving, so it's just nutrient based. Anyways. You guys look shocked.
So just to follow up this,
quiet at the same time.
Sean said he was not speaking of auto insurance, health insurance, Obamacare, had a penalty. That the point is it's analogous. It's that when there is something that comes along, when we recognize that we have a problem that is causing massive issues across the board at a societal level, then we will put in controls to try and break that thing down. And essentially, we need to shore this up in order to protect the entire populace. Because if we don't protect the entire populace, that could result in massive economic downturn, hordes of people out of work, no people spending in the economy because they have no money. And you're looking at bankruptcies, you're looking at foreclosures, you're looking at all kinds of nasty shit. We have to be able to protect the people against unforeseen circumstances, which is why originally safety belts were not law until they realized what they were capable of doing, and so they installed. So now it's a law. Exactly. Now it's a law to wear safety belts. The same thing goes with like Brandy was talking about, fortifying food, because when we moved from agrarian to industrial, that was a big shift. You can't have mass swaths of your population dying from scurvy or other preventable shit. So
what a dumb reason to lose a valuable member of society.
So the Food and Drug Administration mandates that these things have to take place. The same thing goes with liability minimum insurance, so that you don't have people crashing into each other all over the place, because accidents happen hundreds of thousands of times a day. People get hurt. This would collapse our system if it wasn't for that small thing. For $50 a month, you can be protected. That's the point. And then, of course, this is just one of those. The point is, institute a mandate so that we can protect the longevity of our economy and our populace. That's the point. That's what people don't seem to get. But they think, oh, like this. Guess what, dude? There are certain vaccines that you're required to go to school. You can't go to public school.
Yeah,
if you are not vaccinated.
They had a religious. They had Brandy, you're muted. They had a religious. Exemption that they are starting to get rid of.
No, I'm not. No.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
He's got a fancy mic where you can just touch it.
I've got mute it. It's a touch sensor on the top of this Elgato's. I love it. But what I was gonna say is actually that's not true everywhere, because I was having that conversation with my wife, and then she was like, "That's not true. The kids don't need to be vaccinated here." I'm like, "Do they not?" And then I looked it up, and it's Ontario, where I'm from, that they need to be vaccinated, but where I live, we don't, to send them to school. It's all locally different.
Yeah, it's different place to place. And again, some places
I was a little surprised, to be honest with you, but it's low population here. We're one of the lowest populated provinces. So what you'll typically find is where there's higher, denser populations, you'll tend to find there's more likelihood of rules that say that people are required to be vaccinated to be in school. Because like I sat in my brother's high-rise apartment, stood in his balcony one time on the 15th floor or whatever, looking out, like you do over a cityscape. And it was the middle of the day, and you could hear the kids playing, and it was like You know how it is when you're in a high rise. You're sitting here and you're looking kind of like down like this. So it feels like you get hit with a rock. It's actually quite far away, really, but it's right there. You can see it. And you can see all the kids running around. And that is like a 4-story elementary school. Like, and you're looking at it. My brother just goes like this. He goes, yeah, in this block right here of units, there's 22,000 people.
Good Lord.
And I'm like, that's insane. And this is why all of a sudden, like, the problem is when we lived in small towns or smaller places, we were more spread out and we were able to, get away from each other. But now we're stacked on each other like flapjacks in a lot of places, and it's just not feasible.
Right. The thing that kills me about these anti-jabbers, and then this is the last thing I want to say, and then I want to get on to something else because we're kind of turning into whatever.
I'm good with whatever.
Yeah, they talk about, well, there's not enough science behind it, not enough science, not enough this. They don't understand the science that has been put into this vaccine. Well, it came out too quick. Yeah, but it was based on several other things. It wasn't like this is the first vaccine we ever created. It wasn't like this was a fucking, cowpox vaccine or smallpox.
Well, that's what the last decade of technology we've been working up towards is literally
and that's
what
the
we
thing.
were able to do. That was the whole journey. Why are we making supercomputers?
Right. It's not exactly. It's not like this
what
is
are they
first
for?
COVID style virus that we've seen, right? We've seen this is called SARS-CoV-2 or CoV-1, right? SARS, whatever it is.
COVID. It's another version of the same kind of virus.
So,
but a lot of things are coronavirus. A lot of the hog viruses are coronavirus.
Right.
It's just a subtype.
Exactly, but that's the point, right? Is we've been dealing with this is not like we just came up with the first COVID vaccine ever. Oh, boom! No, we've got decades of study and research on these types of things. Not to mention decades, almost centuries of study on virology, immunology, so on and so forth. These people do this stuff day in and day out. It's not like we're just fucking getting a well, you need an ear nail, or you need a fucking blue jay to peck at the wound.
I love that. We need to get a blue jay to peck the poison, the infection out of your freaking gums. The next thing you see me, it's a raven, I think. It's just pecking in his mouth.
Yeah. And then but in the same breath, these people will talk about how, oh well, we don't need the vaccine because we've got ivermectin, which has never ever.
It's a horse and it's made for parasites, is it not?
Yeah, well, exactly.
I can't remember.
It's never been.
It's not even the
tested.
same thing.
Right. It's never been tested to do what they say, what these people that are ivermectin say it's supposed to do. I think it's hilarious that those people will call us who take the vaccine sheep, yet they're taking livestock medicine.
Well, and who's the one that's terrified anyways? They're sitting there freaked out about what's in their thing, and we're lined up and just being like, thank you, ma'am, and going home to take care of our kids again and like moving on with our lives.
Right.
Like, I mean, I wasn't scared at any point.
Here's the thing.
I
Let me
sat
ask you a
down
question.
and got my shot.
I'm going to ask this question to the audience. When's the last time you met somebody with polio? Brainy, when's the last time you met anybody with polio?
I've never even but what I will tell you is that one thing that we have in common is that I and all of my friends don't have that very unmistakable, very large polio shot mark because it was like a multi-needle where it had a bunch of needles in one. But guess what? My mom, my dad, all of those people have that polio shot mark right there where you can see it. It's like a brand almost in their arm because it was quite large. And it actually caused a little scar there. But guess what? I'm not immunized against polio. Never come in contact with it. There's no necessity to have me vaccinated against a disease that I'm unlikely to bump into because wah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, yeah, right. So the follow-up
unlikely, but don't pick up squirrels for the love of God.
No, wait. I could have sworn your mother was vaccinated. Then you carry those antibodies as well. Just like my mom was vaccinated.
Would that actually work like that? I know it works like that with the pig barns. Like if they get the PDV or PEDV, the hog virus that makes them shit to death. And what'll happen is they try. That's the reality. Is what happens. They try to keep it out of. They call it a pyramid. They make the sow barns at the top, and they try to keep the viruses out of the sow barns by making it so, like, if you do work in one of the feeder barns, the bottom of the pyramid, you're not allowed to then go walk right out and the next day go into a sow barn. You have to be like out of the building for like 5 or 6 days. They're trying to give enough time for the virus to die off out of your tools and all that kind of stuff and everything.
That's what.
But then
my grandmother.
Just to finish, is if once the sow barn catches it, and they go through the bout of being sick and they recover, all the young will die. But when they're done, all of the young those sows produce. Now you're right. You're right, because all the young those sows now produce are all immune against that specific strain of that PEDV, and then they distribute to all their barns and they get immunity through their flock for a while until it comes back.
My grandmother had polio. Actually did have it when she was young, and resulted in one of her legs being shorter than the other one. And
was that smallpox vax?
And that was the smallpox vaccine with my mother. But because my grandmother had polio before she had my mom, my mother didn't need to get the polio vaccine. And then my mother got the smallpox vaccine because she had the scar on her arm.
Okay,
and then
I
didn't
same
need to
thing
get the
though.
Smallpox vaccine.
Same answer though. Yeah, I don't have that marked because my parents got it. So thank you, Script Cat, by the way. Yeah, apologize for the mistake. I do love being corrected because there's a lot of information.
So this is the reason why I asked this question, right? When the last time you met somebody with polio, very few people are gonna be like, "Oh yeah, last week." Why is that?
Oh,
and Nicki Minaj's cousin probably had polio with his inflated testicles. Okay, just to be full. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just type into Google Nicki Minaj. No, it's not gross. It's she claimed her cousin. Do you not know what I'm talking about?
I don't, and I don't want to know.
She tweeted that her cousin, she's not getting the vaccine to her millions of followers. She tweeted that she's not getting it because her cousin in like Trinidad or whatever, he got the vaccine and then his dick swelled up and then his wife left him and stuff like that. And a doctor tweeted it's more likely he got an STD from somebody and got caught.
see, it's funny. So, D-Rabbits, all the viruses we got immune to still exist. We're exposed to them day in, day out, and guess what? We don't get sick. What do you think? Why do you think? Exactly.
Just
like when polio, though, I broke up a dog fight a few years ago. It was not my dog. It was just 2 dogs were getting into it. It was nearby my house, and I went over there to try to break it up. And this one dude who was an idiot grabbed the dog by its tail and tried to jerk it off. And I shoved him out of the way. I was like, "Get your hands off the animal." I tried to break up the dog fight, and one of them got my hand. Now, I've been bitten before. I've always owned dogs. This was a little dog. It wasn't exactly like I have German Shepherds, and I've been bitten before, and it sucks. But when I got bit by this dog, it was like, because the dog got my hand and just clamped down. It was like, I was like, yeah, she got me. I had to go get my tetanus shot.
Right. Yeah. So, did you have to get rabies as well?
I did not have to get a rabies shot. I did get, they gave me automatic.
The dog probably had its rabies shot, is why you didn't have to.
And so I did get the rabies shot, but they did have to give me a tetanus shot, which is good because it's good for like 10 years. So now I don't have to worry about getting.
This is a good thing to remember as well, that any immunity passed on from mother to baby is temporary.
Well, that's what I thought. I didn't think that they don't have memory cells of their own that remember these things. So that's why I don't think that we don't get the polio and the smallpox vaccine because we're immune to it. I think we don't get it because we don't come in contact with it unless we
damn near eradicated it.
Yeah,
damn near. And every once in a while it pokes its little head up. But I will tell you, the reason I told you not to touch squirrels is something I learned more recently in my life, is that one of the primary carriers, because I'm like, one day I thought to myself, like, where does polio come from? If nobody around us has polio, where does it suddenly just crop its head up? And I get that there's a kind of sometimes the mysteries of life, because it's like hiding in a crack in a house somewhere, like a murderer waiting. But I looked into it and I found that one of the primary carriers in North America, especially, of polio is literally just wild. I think they're red squirrels. They're actually the brown ones. They're called red squirrels, right? And they're actually, now, that doesn't mean that every red squirrel has polio. I mean, it's like everything. There will be patches of population in places where there's polio present. But that's why if you see your kid walking back with their favorite new dead fucking squirrel toy, it's time to like baste them in sanitizer.
Take them to the bath and
turn that whole tub over on top and just.
Well, it's like you don't mess with like armadillos. It's like armadillos. You don't mess with armadillos.
Yep.
Is that true?
Because not all armadillos not all are
syphilis. Are you serious?
No, it's not syphilis. It's leprosy.
I'm kidding. Leprosy,
I was like, didn't you have to have sex with him to get the syphilis? Is it leprosy?
Yep.
Leprosy. That's some. You
get a fucking leprosy from an armadillo? Like,
so
infected populations of it.
They carry it on their claws.
Yep.
So they scratch you, and then you get flesh-eating fucking.
Well, yeah.
Leprosy is not a localized disease, though. Like, you become infected with leprosy, right?
Yeah.
And then, is there a cure for leprosy nowadays? Isn't it like a bacterial infection they've learned? Can't they baste you? They fill you up with an antibiotic.
To, a leper colony in Malachi.
Where they let your limbs fall off slowly. We've seen that one. Wait, but what is there a cure for it? Like, what's your prognosis?
I think with early detection, I think that there's a chance to keep it under control. But I don't know if there's a cure. It says it's
curable with oral antibiotics and prompt therapy.
Yeah, it's got to be handled immediately.
Okay, so it can be cured, but what it's saying is if you don't cure it quickly, you're gonna run into some fucking issues.
damn armadillo! Now my nose is falling off.
Oh man, yes. I've got Michael Jackson disorder.
So apparently, one of the most
he's been dead long enough. He's fair game now again.
That's fucked up.
Enough time has passed. He's fair game.
So apparently, one of the most dangerous animals in the Sahara or the Serengeti is fucking anteaters because they're blind.
Okay.
So think about it.
What does that mean for you and your safety?
They have gigantic digging claws. I thought maybe they stick
that nose right up your ass and just reach somewhere.
So they have these gigantic.
He was just smelling. He was looking for the vanilla. He went right in.
He did. And what do they have to worry about? What kind of predators do they have to worry about? Fucking jaguars and lions and shit. So if you get too close, apparently this happened to zookeeper.
Africa has the worst animals, just so everybody knows.
Yeah, this happened to a zookeeper.
Australia and Africa are pretty tight. Like there's a lot of hate in both those nations for different reasons, but it's because like even things like Africanized bees are just regular honeybees that have been aggressive. They have so there's African bees and then there's European honeybees and then there's Africanized European honeybees, which basically because an African bee and a European bee are identical almost, other than that what's happened is over thousands or millions of years of breeding because of the difference between the threats in Europe versus the threats in Africa to their existence. They suspect, this is obviously theory, but they suspect what happened is the African lineage got really aggressive. And that's why they do this thing where like if you go near the hive, they'll all attack you and they'll like all attack you. Like the whole hive will come out because they had to deal with things like honey badgers and stuff. And the only way to actually get some of these predators to actually get away from their hive was to not just have one or two bees coming in and stinging them on the jowls. It was to have the entire hive come out and respond.
Right.
And honey badgers
so it became a survival. Natural selection just started breeding.
Yeah, but honey badgers still don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they don't care.
That's what I mean. That's the problem, right?
And back to the story I was telling you about the reason why.
Sorry, I'm yelling into my mic. My apologies. I gotta move away from
There was that's okay. There was a zookeeper someplace in I think northeast of the United States, northeast area, who went into this exhibit where the anteater was to feed or clean or do something. Got too close to the anteater, spooked the anteater. That fucking thing whipped its digging claw, fucking disemboweled this fucking worker and they bled out.
I believe it. Yeah.
Fuck their shit up.
Damn.
All right. So we're going to switch from one animal to a different type of animal. We're going to talk about Tom Rabbit and Darth Dawkins. What happened, JL?
Okay, so there's there's a little bit of a funny update regarding that. So Tom is back on PNR. He's been brought back to PNR, and Darth Dawkins has left PNR.
Bye.
So it's very much like Curly Bill. Bye. And the reason for this is, and I find it to be hilarious. I can't wait till Tom's next video when it comes out. Is apparently Darth went down into the Rebel base channel and thought that he could go in there like running his shtick and pulling his shit and got server muted. Just got shut down, and as a result, he went and complained and did the whole ultimatum thing to Blackout, like it was like, oh, blah 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 blah, I'm gonna leave and quit, server mute me, blah like that, and I guess they weren't having it, so Darth quit the server, as he's done like 4 times.
He'll be back.
He'll be back. He quit the server, and then Tom was allowed back in. So I just found it to be funny, and so look for that. Tom Rabbits, I guess, because apparently Tom got it all on.
Oh, I'm sure that'll be up
all recorded.
I recognize that name, Darth Dawkins.
We talk about him not often, but on occasion.
Is he a different channel somewhere?
He's an asshole. He's just a fucking jackass. Anyway, that's funny because he does that shit all the time. So I'll tell you what. I will retract my statement about Blackout being a bitch.
So because apparently, this one is on. This and then the reason for that is because he went into a room that wasn't his and decided that he was going to go in there and run his mouth, and that's not the way it works. It was kind of in violation of the compromise that they made with him. You stay in your room, you've got your little controls, you stay over there, but don't go into rooms that you're not welcome in. And then he decided to go into one that he wasn't welcome. He didn't go into Counter Apologetics, he went into Rebel Base, which is pretty much where I guess the We Hate Darth crew hangs out, and he went in there, ran his mouth. Andricus got a picture of him server muted in there, which is hilarious. And then he flipped out, went to the admins. The admins didn't have his back, and he deuced out.
Well, look, you don't get to pull your bullshit in other people's places, other people's houses. I'd throw you out of my house too. Come to my house, try that bullshit. I'll pick you up by your fucking belt loop and pitch your little ass out. There it goes. Script Cat, we're talking about Darth Dawkins. See, I've got a couple of videos about that guy. Schrodinger's cat told me to tell everyone hi. Hello, Schrodinger. Thank you, Mrs. Cat. I never, Mrs. Cat.
Over here.
I need to get a hold of Cliff because I got to figure out what on his donation. It never came across my PayPal. If he sent it to directly to you, then that's good. I won't know about it. That's cool. Either I just want to make sure that it's not floating out there someplace, not going to where it was supposed to go. So I do need to check him out. Is this a podcast? He's not a podcast guy. He's a guy. Darth Dawkins is a guy who likes to run an apologetics presuppositional script in any kind of theist, atheist, or politics debate. Really, don't go looking for him. I don't want to be the person. I don't want to be the reason why you go looking for Darth Dawkins. I figured I've given everybody just enough on my channel to know everything you need to know about Darth Dawkins. You're not gonna. You'll be mad at me. I was mad at JL for the longest time for even putting that fucking douchebag in my radar. But
whoa,
anyway.
Wait. So is he? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is this
holy crap? It's 10 o'clock. It's time for me to get out of here. Been on this for an hour and a half.
That's it.
Well, that's
I was gonna say the same thing, to be honest with you.
Look, okay,
I did 3.5 hours the other day.
He's like, listen, I have to get off here. I have enough time to drink a drink and basically get back to making content. You animal.
See, there you go. See,
I gotta re-record my Van Til script. I just read when you ever do a script, you write it out and it seems good, but then when you record it and you hear it out loud, you realize this doesn't work.
That's why I speak it out loud.
I hate everything I do, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
No, this is the first time I'm dealing with this. Normally, my writing is I keep it pretty straight in my head, but this one I'm kind of like, this just.
Yeah, I used to do the same thing. I know what you're talking about, but no. Now that I write my scripts out, I'll read them as I'm writing them, and if I get tongue-tied or twisted or it just sounds weird, I'll go back and I'll figure out a different way to write whatever it is I'm trying to say. I'll try a different way to write it out. And even then, there are times where I'm getting into the point where it's all right, it's recording time, and I'll go to give the line. And I'm like, nah, that just doesn't work, or whatever. I'll flub it, and I'll say, nah, and then I'll say something that works. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Is this a channel I found? Is this him? Is it like is it like a donut? Logo?
Duncan, probably Duncan Atheist or Duncan, yeah.
Okay.
That douchebag. Oh god.
A lot of content though. Good for
him. He got so
mad
at me for calling him a bitch.
What?
He got so mad at me for calling him a bitch. Did you call me a bitch? Yes, I have. I did.
See, when I first started my channel, I spent so much time subscribing to these kinds of people that like my main like Brainy Beaver started becoming unusable for actually entertaining myself. And finally I got to a threshold last year about winter when I was like, you know what, this is done. And I just started, if it also comes up in my feed, it's like, oh, on this flat earth, unfucking subscribe. It's like, if I need you, I'll find you by searching flat earth recent.
Yep.
Get out of here.
Yep.
I'm out.
Anyway,
hey, I wonder what their numbers are like if they're starting to they must be stagnating a bit.
Flat Earth?
Not growing. Yeah, well, they still kind of manage.
Well, MC Toon is debating Josh Hamer right now, and I only see like I have my home screen up on my phone, and all I see is the video of what's currently going on. I don't hear any audio or anything, just like the thumbnail, and it looks like he is spazzing out hard. And I'm not sure what was going on, but he was holding up like the loser to MC Toon, like just holding like maintaining it, but it was reversed. But it was reversed because he wasn't thinking about how the camera, because so like an L is this, so he should be doing loser like this, but he was doing like this, and I'm like,
right angle, yeah, right angle, very good. Facty, I haven't figured out what my login stuff is because it auto logs me in and I keep looking for the place to find my passwords for all that stuff. I'm just stupid, I guess. That'll be clipped. All right, so here we go. JL, you've got your Vantil that's coming out what, next week?
Yeah. This has set me back a little bit because I'm gonna tackle it again, and maybe I was tired, I'm not sure. But now I'm a little bit more focused. So I think I'm gonna have to restructure the script a little bit, because once I got it out loud, everything is in there, but I just don't think it was. Wow, that dude is freaking out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, he is. You're right. He's yelling a lot. I just turned the audio on for a second. That's a lot.
Yeah. So okay, come on, that dude's been drinking.
I mean, I've been token. What's the difference? Get out of our lives, JL. You don't own us.
Are you trying to have a debate right now?
Who, me?
That's the difference.
I just
that's the difference, dude. Okay, but like obviously you wouldn't smoke 3 or 4 bowls before you went into a debate on a subject, I'm sure.
I mean, I'll be blunt. Sometimes I even, no pun intended there, by the way. I'll even a lot of times get into the stream and I'm trying to do my intro and I'm like pressing all the different things on the potato, which is like basically, it's a mixer. So it's the same idea as and it's like, and then you're just into it and you're like, I just wish I didn't. It would have been easier to run this shit without it. So
I'm going to do some restructuring on the script, and I'm going to re-record. So it's put me back a little bit. And not to mention, we got Week in Horror tomorrow, so you got to focus on that. But yeah, it'll be soonish. Once I'm happy with it, once it sounds good to my ear, I want to make sure because I have to admit, I use the more big words than usual in this particular script, and I need to make sure
You should have like a little chalkboard or a crayon board thing in the background for all the people that are going to watch that don't know these big words. Not me, I'll know them, but the people like the sycophants, the Dawkins sycophants, they're not going to know. Like Jay Robin, he's not going to know the words you use. That's the funniest thing about Jay Robin. He'll use these big words because he hears Darth Dawkins use these big words, but I don't think he understands what they mean.
Yeah, when I use when depending upon when I use words like ostentatious or what was I called Vantil a number of things.
The kitty's coming out.
Things
are getting serious when people start rubbing a pussy like that.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Mrs. Cat, yes, I did receive it this time. I did get that one, so tell him everything. Oh, that one's all good. That one I did get.
YouTube doesn't care about that.
No, I know. I'm just being silly.
Besides, you're not labeled. You got to make it specific. You're not for kids. Go ahead, please, sir.
Oh no, it's fine. Brandy, you've got your newest video that you're working on. You got that coming out soon, yeah? The one with the sex doll.
I'm hoping I'll be done tonight, and then I'll get it out tomorrow. To be honest with you, but it's a slightly different angle on doing my videos. Try to see if I can change up the workflow a little bit. I do want to do still do the way I've been doing them, but maybe I could, since I'm only getting one video out a month or so anyways, I figured maybe I could save those special videos for their once a month or something, and then try to get some more, smaller content reaction style a little bit in there, and just try to get some more content going, because I think that's obviously going to be key. Like I said to you, people got to see you in order to subscribe, and if they're not getting the opportunity, then you're never going to grow. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, like I said, you can pump out some more content. I'm starting to see your stuff pop up more and more. So the more content you pump out,
I've been doing, again, I've been hit because of the couple videos, and I had that short, he loves the detail, actually did way better than I ever expected. I was like, man, I should have put more time into that. It's like 1.5 thousand views of Unirock loving the detail, or liking the detail, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyways, but yeah, no, you know how it works. The algorithm, I got a little boost there, and of course if you keep doing that, eventually it'll kind of say, okay,
they'll keep pushing and pushing and pushing. Yeah, right.
So I just got to get back in love with the algorithm, get my channel in love with the algorithm again, and then I'm sure I'll be fine. So, but yeah, but thank you for inviting me on. I really appreciate it. I know you guys
absolutely.
Here, so I'll start saying just basically appreciate you having me, and hopefully that's out tomorrow. And if you haven't seen my most recent video, which Johnny poked at today, that's something. I think that's something worth checking out.
I do too.
I do like the other sections there.
I'm going to tell you why I picked that particular video, because, well, I mean, we talked about it after, like, we did a live stream on your channel after you released, or before you released it, talking about the
basically the same thumbnail with a different, slightly different, but yeah.
Connie Johnson, thank you for becoming a channel member. Welcome to the Plot Hole crew. Everybody, give Connie Johnson the plot hole treatment. Show her the finger guns, everybody.
Oh, not those ones. Okay.
Anyway, so the reason why I picked that out is because that shit right there, that shit pisses me off. Them fucking snake. Look, there are people talking about, well, I go to tarot card readers and this and the other. I do that for entertainment purposes and whatnot. That's cool. Whatever. That's fine. Do your thing. Do your thing. You like tarot card, you like getting your horoscopes and all that stuff. That's cool. But it's these assholes that find and exploit these types of cases. The case that I won't mention because I don't want to be guilty by association, but we all know what kind of cases I'm talking about. These assholes that go out, find these victims or these families that are dealing with these extremely horrific situations, and I got my light bright connected to my Atari 2600 here. I can talk to I can talk to the missing people or the dead or all this bullshit. It's like, fuck you guys, fuck you people. They piss me off. They really pissed me off.
He has like 2 wires on top that were like twisted up with alligator clips and a fucking crystal. Like, what is that doing?
Yeah, come on, man.
The vibrations are tapping into the ether. It's like, you need graphics cards to tap into the ether. Good luck.
You do. Anyway, we've got Weekend Horror coming out tomorrow on the Weekend Horror, the Weekend Horror podcast. I'm not going to be there though. I'll be there. I'll be in the chat throwing shade and whatnot. I'll be there in spirit. Ooh.
Yeah, well, emotionally, right? You're invested.
But I'll be there throwing, like content bombs, little prawn bombs at JL. He's not even paying attention.
Those are terrifying.
I am. I'm just
JL's not even paying attention. Just gave him the secrets of life.
He's looking up new fantastical pink beard dyes.
I think so. I think exactly what he's doing. He's clicking on something. You're playing a game, aren't you, you son of a bitch?
How the fuck am I supposed to compete with? That's funny. What's funny is one time I played just for dicking around for a few minutes in the background, and it was like I was playing that for a couple seconds while I was bored or whatever. He's like, I know, because your Discord shows what you're playing. I'm like, motherfucker. Noted by the setting on my Discord.
That's funny.
I'm not
Maybe his Atari is hooked up to his Ethernet, says Commander Dark. Anyway, yeah. So I've got. Let's see here. I've got the documentary that I'm one shooting day away from being finished, and that will be this Saturday. So I'll shoot this Saturday, and then I will go hard in the paint, get the sucker out. I will have once I get the seal of approval from the producer and whatnot, I will have a private screening for all channel members and patrons. Give them the opportunity to come check it out first, because they're the ones that are pretty much supporting that, and then we'll send it on to the old film festival circuit. See how that goes. See how it does. Anyway, I've got.
What about the big one?
That is, I really so fucking. This is a bundle of Sidewinder snakes all wrapped in this giant knot that I have to go in there barehanded and try and unravel.
I am.
Fuck me.
What are we talking about? A physical unraveling or like a
no?
Johnny has gotten his hands on a story that I shit you not, Brainy, is going to blow the fucking doors off, and I say that with no hyperbole whatsoever. We're talking real world ramifications here.
Wait. There might be skits that could be made out of this, Johnny. We got to talk. I gotta be ready.
Well, I'm just saying.
I'm joking.
It's huge. He's got to do what he's got to do. It's really huge shit, and I want to see it happen because I love nuking.
It's happening.
I love nuking aside from orbit. It's just great.
I am just.
Hey, is it the right kind of target to be nuked from orbit? Is this somebody that's going to be very exciting?
100% right kind of target. It's a target that needs to be nuked multiple times just to make sure it's gone.
Plot twist, it's fucking Brainy Beaver.
How did he figure it out? I think. But no, so the challenge of that one is trying to put everything together cohesively that it's easily to follow. There's just so much information here. So much has come out.
That's the hardest part. I won't 2 seconds this. That's the hardest part I've ever found of when you're having these multi-tendrilled stories. Like, I'd love to do an expose on somebody I won't mention, but like, oh my God, I just think of I'm busy enough, and the amount of time it takes to connect with all the different people and pull in all of the information and then create this beautiful timeline so that you can properly portray exactly what went down. And that's the beauty of those videos that makes us want to watch them, because somebody did the work, but it's work.
Ryan Anon says it's not a twist, it's a hole. Geesh.
It's a plot hole. Boom.
Plot hole. Boom. All right, let's get out of here. Everybody say goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. Good to see you.
I love you, Johnny. I'm joking. I love you, JL. Love you guys. Audience.
Love you guys. See ya.
See ya. Bye.
Wait, that way.
See ya.
There was a place named.
They can still hear us.
Oh no!
I think so.
Hot mic. Hot mic. Hot mic.
Hot mic. Hot mic.